Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Scarlet Witch and Justice with a built deck against expert Rhino. So pull up a chair and let's see if she can win. All right, well, this is my second attempt against Rhino on Expert with Scarlet Witch. I've done a previous playthrough with her starter deck and it didn't go well. So this time I built a deck in Justice with Scarlet Witch, and hopefully this game will go a lot better. I don't know, we'll see. And I do have the breaking and taking side scheme in like I was supposed to with the 3-threat on it. I got to put his side 2 in because I have played some practice games and I'd have beaten him off camera. Maybe I can beat him on camera. And there he is with 2. He's got 15 hit points to start with. She's got 10. Here's my starting hand, and I'm going to mulligan. And I think I'm going to drop Molecular Decay, Lockjaw, and Hex Bolt, and hold on to the rest of these and maybe get some double resources so I can get a Nick Fury and do some other things. So that's draw back up to 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we'll play Spiritual Meditation, which lets me draw 2 cards and then choose and discard 1 card from my hand. So let's see, 1, 2. Under Surveillance, I'm going to discard Counterintelligence. All right. I don't think I need Ironheart right now, but because I want to use her ability to try to, like I said, get some double resources, but I don't really want to get rid of anything else that's down here. I guess I'll get rid of Turn the Tide and then draw 2. 1, 2. Okay. All right. Well, still didn't get anything, but I am going to put in Nick Fury, and I'm going to put him in with magic with, let's see, Hex Bolt, Clear the Area, Magic Shield, and Molecular Decay. Those 4 resources. And hold on to Under Surveillance. Let him draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in Under Surveillance in up here with Order and Chaos and Clear the Area, I think. And then, oh, by the way, Nick comes in with 3. He'll thwart for 2. Off of this to drop it down to 1, and then she's going to flip and thwart for 2 to get rid of this, and then we will ready and draw to 5. All right, so start of the main phase, 1 threat here, and he will attack, but Nick's going to take it. He'll attack with 3, 4, 5, so that'll knock him out of the game. And then the encounter card is Crowd Control. So now we have a side scheme in, and it has a crisis icon, so I can't take off the main scheme until I take care of that. It'll come in with 2, and we are back to Scarlet Witch. And I think on this side of her, I'm going to go ahead and put in Avengers Mansion with Energy, Hex Bolt, and Magic Shield for 4 total resources. And then have her thwart for 2 to get rid of this side scheme that just came in, so that it doesn't mess me up later. And then I'm going to flip to Wanda. There's 10 threat here that has to go on here. I think I'll be okay. I want to get this Witch's Crest in, and I also want to get Avengers Mansion, and that's why I did that. So I'll go ahead and ready her and then draw to 6. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme to start with the villain phase. He schemes for 1, and just for 1, so it's going to go to 3. And that's good. We see an Assault get dumped. And then the encounter card will be Charge. All right. Well, I got to do something about that. I got to make sure I'm prepared for that. And we are back to Wanda. First thing I'm going to do is use Avengers Mansion to let her draw. And she gets Chaos Magic. Okay. And then I'll use Spiritual Meditation to draw 2 cards and discard a card. And I think this time I will discard Molecular Decay. And then play this copy of Spiritual Meditation that just came in to draw 2 and discard. I'm going to hold on to Sorcerer Supreme. I will discard, I guess Warp Reality. I don't really want to discard any of these. Got a lot of good ones here. I'm going to put in Agatha Harkness with Mockingbird. And that's going to let me look. I'm going to exhaust her. That's going to let me look at the top 3 cards of my deck. Put one in my hand and then put the other 2 in the bottom in any order. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll take the power in all of us and put these 2 at the bottom of my deck. All right, so I'm going to put in Heimdall with Chaos Magic. So he costs 5, but Chaos Magic lets you put a card in without having to pay the resources, but you have to discard cards from top of the deck. So I'm going to discard 5 cards from the encounter deck. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an advance. That's good. I don't know if I've used her ability, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to get rid of anything. I will, and when he comes into play, he looks at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. You discard 1 and put the others on back in any order. So let's look at the top 3. Okay. Well, looks like I'm going to have to deal with a false alarm or an assault. Okay. I think I'm going to make the assault the boost because remember he has charge. It's overkill. So she's going to have to take it. She'll have to take 6 damage. So this won't add any boost effect. So, and then I'll just discard a false alarm, and then the other one will have to be my encounter card. We'll just do it that way. So we'll put those back on top, and Heimdall will come in, and he will thwart for 2 to drop the main scheme down to 1. And then I'm going to put in Sorcerer Supreme with the power of all of us, power in all of us. And I don't have anything that I can do to put these 2 in. I'll hold on to them from now. I will flip to Scarlet Witch and just have her attack for 1 to drop him down from 15 to 14. And that's it. So we will ready and draw to 6 because I have the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay, start of the main phase. 1 threat on the main scheme, and we already know it. We already know it's going to happen. It's going to be just 6 damage to her. So 6 and no boost. 6 minus 2 is 4, so it will drop her down to 6. And then we know the encounter card is going to be False Alarm, and so it'll confuse her. So I'll have to deal with that at some point, but that's okay. And we are back to Scarlet Witch. We will exhaust Avengers Mansion and draw a card, and we got the power in all of us. Okay, I want to put her crest in. Go ahead and get that in while I can. So I'm going to put that in with Genius, with the 2 resources from Genius. And then I would like to get her Magic Shield in, but I mean, if I put in Quicksilver, I have to discard all these, and I'm not sure I really want to do that right now. So I'm going to put in the Magic Shield with the power in all of us. And I would like the Hex Bolt, so I will go ahead and Hex Bolt with Counterintelligence and Quicksilver. So I'll discard the top 3 cards. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I can deal 2 damage, remove 2 threat, and then draw a card. And I'll probably use her crest to do something. Now I do have her ability that can change, that I can replace one of these. And I don't really need the thwart, so I'm thinking I'm gonna use her ability to replace this Hydra Bomber with that. So it's the same thing. All right, so those are the 3 that I get. I'm going to use her crest to turn these 2 boost icons into 3 icons, so that I can stun. Oh, by the way, charge leaves the game, so that I can stun Rhino, and then I'll deal 2 damage and remove 2 threat. So let's go ahead and do that. 2 damage down to 12. And then remove 2 threat because she had 1 boost. All right, and that's her Hex Bolt. And then Heimdall really doesn't have much to do. If I attack, it takes 2 consequential damage, but that's okay. I'll do that. I'll attack for 3. I'll drop him to 1. He goes down to 9. And that's it. So we will ready and draw up to 6. And I don't think I have enough cards for that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't. So She'll get dealt an encounter card. I'll shuffle my deck, and then we will go to the villain phase. All right, before I move any further, you may be wondering why, when I did my Hex Bolt, why I removed 2 threat from the scheme when she's confused. Well, Hex Bolt is not a thwart. It is a spell superpower tag. It doesn't have anything on thwart in it, so you can remove threat without removing the confused. It's similar to some other things that do that in the game, like if you were to deal damage without it being an attack. Some cards let you deal damage without being an attack. That bypasses stun, and so Hex Bolt, because it is not tagged to thwart, can remove threat, and she is still confused. And so I'm pretty sure that's correct. I hope it is, because that's how I play it and that's how I understand the rules. So we are at the villain phase. 1 threat here. He's stunned, so he won't attack. So I've got to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first is Slipping Sanity. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm going to flip and exhaust her to remove that from the game. And then the other one is Rhino heals 4 damage, and he can. So that's going to bring him back up to 13. And so we are back to Wanda. And one of the reasons why I went ahead to flip is because now I can use Agatha to draw a card. First of all, I'm going to use Avengers Mansion to draw a card, clear the area. And then next, I'll use her to look at the top 3, put 1 in my hand, and put the other 2 at the bottom. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I've got Nick, Warp Reality, and Genius. And I want to keep Genius and Nick. Nick will be helpful. I'm gonna hold on to him and put the other 2 at the bottom. And then I do have a spiritual meditation, so maybe I can find energy, because that's the only other double resource I have. So I'm gonna play spiritual meditation to draw 2 and then discard 1. Let's see, 1, 2. There's Quicksilver. I'll hold on to him and get rid of counterintelligence. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. All right. So let's figure out what I want to do here. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in Nick, and I'm going to do it with Strength for 2, Heroic Intuition for 3, and Order and Chaos for 4. And when he comes in, he'll come in with 3 health. And I'm also going to use his ability to let her draw 3 cards. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then I'm going to flip to Wanda, or flip to Scarlet Witch. And I'm going to use Clear the Area with I think Skilled Investigator, I guess. I'm going to play that. It's a thwart, and I'm playing that to remove the confuse from her, so I can get that out of the way. And then I think I will use the Power in All of Us and the Power in All of Us to play Clear the Area to remove 2 threat from a scheme. If it's last threat on that scheme, draw a card. So I'm going to do that. It will remove the last scheme, so I get to draw a card. And also, I'm going to play Turn the Tide. After your hero thwarts or removes all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to an enemy. So I'm going to do that, knock him down, Rhino down to 10. And I've got another spiritual meditation. Might as well use it. I'll draw 2 and discard 1. So let's see, 1, 2, and I'll discard 1. I'd like to keep my molecular decays, but I only need 1 for now, I guess, so I'll do that. And I can't play any of these. I'll just hold on to them. I will have Heimdall go ahead and attack for 3 to drop Rhino down to 7. And that's going to remove him from the game. And then I'll have Nick attack for 2 to drop him down to 2. It's going to drop Rhino down to 5. Pretty good turn. One of the things I've noticed with Scarlet Witch is if you put the right cards in your deck, you get to do a lot on your turn. It's kind of fun. So I hope I win, but I'm having a good time anyway. So now I'm going to draw up to 6 because I have Sorcerer Supreme, and then we'll move the villain turn. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme. He's going to attack, but Nick's going to take it for 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a good time for that to come out. And then the encounter card will be Hydra Mercenary. That is unfortunate because now I got to deal with him before I can keep putting damage on Rhino. But it is what it is, and we are back to Scarlet Witch. All right, I think the first thing I'm going to do is have Avengers Mansion let her draw a card. And it is a Hex Bolt. Okay, I'm going to put in Ironheart with the Power in All of Us. And that she'll come in with 2. And when you play her from your hand, you draw a card. So there we go. There's energy. All right. All right, well, let's go ahead and Hex Bolt again. So I'm going to do that with energy. And let's see, we discard. We get a 1, a 1, and a 2. I would like to draw a card, so that's good. But I'm going to use her ability to get rid of one of these 1 boosts and replace it. So it's going to be with a 2. So I got a 2, a 2, and a 1. I'm going to use the crest to make one of these 2s a 3 so that I can place a status effect on somebody, which will be Rhino. I'm going to stun him. And then the other one's going to let me draw a card, Molecular Decay, and then the other one's going to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So I stunned, drew a card, and removed 2 threat. I'll remove the only threat left from the scheme. All right. And then I'm going to put in Mockingbird. Well, no, I don't need to now because he's stunned. So I think this is probably a good time to go ahead and use Molecular Decay. Let me think about that. No, I'm going to put in Quicksilver with the rest of my resources. So I got Quicksilver into play, and I got to get this Hydra Mercenary out of the way. So I'm going to do 2 with him, drop him from 4 to 3. So I drop him down to 1. I'll have Ironheart hit him for 1, and that will remove the Hydra Mercenary. So he's gone. And then I will ready Quicksilver. He'll attack for 2. I'll have Scarlet Witch attack for 1 for a total of 3, dropping Rhino down from 5 to 2. And that should be it. I think that's all I can do. So I will ready and draw to 6. All right, so the start of the villain phase, we put 1 threat on the main scheme. He's stunned, so he can't attack. And then the encounter card will be Stampede. So when revealed, Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, the character is stunned. Ironheart's going to take it. It's going to knock her out, so she won't be stunned. All right, so 3, just 3. It is enough to knock her out. Thank you for your help. And we are back to Scarlet Witch. And the first thing I'm going to do over here with her is use Avengers Mansion and draw a card. And we have Turn the Tide. And then I'm going to play Spiritual Meditation to draw 2 cards and discard 1. So let's see, 1, 2, got a Hex Bolt and a Magic Shield. I got all 3 of my Hex Bolts in the game. I'll discard a Magic Shield, I guess. I think I will have Quicksilver attack for 2. And that's going to drop Rhino down to 0. Okay, so then he will advance to a side 3. And when he gets to side 3, he comes in with Tough. It stuns my hero, Scarlet Witch. And he comes back in with 16. All right, so 16 health. And I am stunned. And then let's see what I want to do here. I think I want to go ahead and Hex Bolt for one of them. And I'll use Chaos Magic for that. So I can have plenty of cards to do what else I want to do. So I'll discard the 2 cards to pay for the cost. Of Hex Bolt. And there's 3 boosts I could have used, but oh well. So I have put Hex Bolt into play. We will discard 3 to see 1, 2, 3. All right, and I do want to see a I do want to be able to do some damage with Tough. So and I would like to be able to put a status effect on him. Okay, I won't use her ability this time. I'll use the Witch's Crest to make this 1 boost a 0. so that I can do 2 damage to remove the tough. And again, she is stunned, but Hex Bolt is not an attack. It's a spell and spell power, you know, hero action. And it doesn't say anything about making an attack. You just discard and then you deal 2 damage. So from what I understand, that does bypass the stun. I mean, if I had to, I mean, I could attack, knock the stun off, and it's probably something I should do anyway. I mean, I'll just go ahead and do that. Let's say I did that beforehand. I need to get rid of the stun anyway. All right, so anyway, I did 2 damage with the Stampede, and then I wanted to put a status effect on him, but oh well, too late now. I'll just draw 2 cards with it. I do have 2 other Hex Bolts, so maybe I can get something. All right, well, that's going to run her deck out, so I'll deal a card and let me shuffle her deck. All right, so let's go ahead and do another Hex Bolt with Genius, the 2 resources from Genius. And so that's going to, oh, no, I don't want to do that because there's only 2 cards left here. And I want to be able to get the full benefit. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to put in Lockjaw over here with Genius, Turn the Tide, and I guess Warp Reality for 2, 3, and 4. And he'll come in with 4. And I'll have him attack for 2, which will drop him to 2 and drop Rhino down to 14. And then I've got a Magic Shield. So yeah, I'll put in a Magic Shield, another Magic Shield with a Hex Bolt. I still got 1 Hex Bolt I can use. So we'll do that. And then I've got a couple of blockers if I need. I think I'll be okay. So we will ready and draw to 6. Okay, start of the main phase, 1 threat up here. He's going to attack and Quicksilver is going to take it. He's attacking for 4, 5, so he's out of the game. And then I got 1 encounter card. I'll deal myself the other one, so that means an acceleration token comes on. And let me shuffle up the deck. All right, so the deck's been reshuffled. Let's see what the first encounter card is. It is hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4 damage, so he can only go up 2 though, back up to 16. And then, so it won't surge because he did heal. And then we have Armored Rhino Suit. So that's going to go on. Now I got to deal with that. And we are back to Scarlet Witch. All right, the first thing we're going to do is use Avengers Mansion to draw a card. And it is Turn the Tide. Okay. And then I think I will use Scarlet Witch to thwart for 2 to get rid of the 2 threat on this scheme. And then Turn the Tide says, after your hero thwarts and removes all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to an enemy. So it's going to have to go on the suit. So 3 damage there. And then I'll have Lockjaw attack for 2 to get rid of the suit. And that will knock Lockjaw out of the game, but that's okay. That'll be okay. And then I'm going to put Nick Fury in, I think, with 2, 3, 4 resources. I'm going to have him come in and deal 4 damage and then attack for 2. So 6 damage to Rhino, dropping him to 0. And that will drop him down to 2. And then I think what I'm going to do is just, I do have the 2 Magic Shields, so I think I'll just stay where I'm at. And then I will ready and draw up to 6. All right, so starting the main phase, we put 2 threat back on because of the acceleration token. He's going to attack, but Nick's going to take it. It's for 4, 5, 6. So he's out of the game. And then the encounter card will be Sandman. He comes in with 4 health and a tough status card, but hopefully that won't matter. There's 10. Rhino has 10 health left. Sandman is not a guard, and I do have 2 molecular decays, so let's see if I can use it. I know the first thing I'm going to do is use Avengers Mansion to draw a card, and it is Magic Shield. Okay, and then I do think I want to use a molecular decay, so I'm going to use that with Mockingbird for 1, Heroic Intuition for 2, and the Power in All of Us for 3. And that's going to deal at least 5 damage. So I discard the top 2 cards they encounter deck, and for each boost icon, discard this way, deal 1 additional damage to that enemy. So let's see. So it's 5. And then Scarlet Witch Crest is going to make that 6. So just 6. Down to 4. From 10 down to 4. All right. And let's see what I can do here. So that card will leave the game. I do have a Hex Bolt. And I do have... I do have Lockjaw in the discard pile, but I don't have enough to get him in, unless I flip and Agatha can bring him in, or I can Hex Bolt. All right, let's just Hex Bolt. So I'm going to spin those 2 and draw 3 cards. So we've got 1. There we go. There's 2 damage. 2, 3. All right. So I can put a status on something. I will stun Rhino. And then I get to draw a card, which is counterintelligence, and deal 2 damage to Rhino. So that's going to drop him from 4 to 2. Scarlet Witch will attack for 1 to drop him down to 1. And then the Hex Bolt goes in the discard pile. And I think I'm good. I think I'll be okay. So I'm going to ready and draw to 6. All right, start of the main phase. Goes up from 2 to 4. He won't attack because he's stunned, so that'll go off. And then Sandman does attack, but I do have a magic shield, so I'll just use one of those to prevent that damage from Sandman. And then the encounter card is Advance. Okay, that's not a bad time for it. He schemes for 1. Just for 1, so it brings it up to 5 on the main scheme. We are back to Scarlet Witch. Sandman does not have guard, so Scarlet Witch has 1 attack. I'll just use her 1 attack to finish off Rhino down to 0. And that's the game. Well, it went much better than the first game, and it was a lot more fun. Getting all the cards, having the Sorcerer Supreme and Avengers Mansion in here to draw a bunch of cards, and then Nick let me draw cards at some time. Spiritual Meditation lets you dig for the cards that you're looking for, double resources or whatever it is. And with her Chaos Magic letting some cards come in for free, I feel like you get to do a lot in a turn. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed the game. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, because there will be more Marvel Champions games and also videos for other games. So hit that notification bell, like and subscribe. And until the next video, I'll save you a seat at the table. Bye.